Well, here we are, talking about the future. I remember I did this February 2019.
You take all the applications that are centralized, and you start decentralizing them, and you let people have true ownership, right? And these things are accelerating at a very, very fast pace. And I think those that are in this industry that don't quit will be the legends that people will talk about decades from now, maybe centuries from now.
So I didn't know what the future of NFTs were, and maybe I don't know today, but I think collectively I've gathered the information from all those that you've been listening to. So December 2018, January 2019, I started asking all the speakers, where will NFTs be in 5 years? Talking to Devin and Alex at OpenSea when it's just getting first started, talking to all the artists as they just were transitioning from being physical crypto artists to actually exploring NFTs. What is this digital asset idea? And people start to share and unfold what could happen with video games, what could happen with just all the different things that we own and how we can create things out of nothing and create communities around those things, how it would foster decentralized autonomous organizations, how it would foster decentralized autonomous communities and the impact of it. And I interviewed about 100 people. I remember sitting there and I'm asking all these questions and I'm thinking, I still don't really know what they're talking about. But I thought, well, I just gotta keep asking questions, and if I keep asking, maybe I'll figure out what the future will unfold. You know, one thing that was clear back then and is still clear today is nobody's very interested in predicting what will happen. There's not a lot of prophets in our environment. Not a lot of people that think they're Nostradamus. But what we do have and who you are is people that are willing to have a vision and to build teams around that vision, to build communities around that vision, and then to manifest that together. And I think that's the real point of my talk today, is to get you to think about what it is to actually create NFT 2024 and for you to be a part of that creation. So are you gonna look on the outside and say, look at what they've done, or are you gonna be part of the community that is doing the doing and actually building the things that matter? I wear this shirt, on earth as in heaven. And I don't think you have to be religious to like that idea. I think overall, you can just kind of appreciate the thought that whatever heavenly thing that you might desire or want, can we bring it here and experience it here now? How many of us in this room have found some sense of heaven in a Discord community? How many of you found some sense of heaven here inside of this environment, being with 5,000 other people that are like-minded, that are running after the same thing? And maybe you hear Jody talk when we open up, or you hear Gary talk when we open up the conference. And obviously, Jody and Gary have some different perspectives. They both align, they're both right, just from different perspectives. And maybe you've aligned with one kind of drum beat and think to yourself, that's what I'm about, that's what I want to create, that's what matters to me and those that I'm running with. I think when you contemplate building the future, I have a couple things that I'm a little bit concerned about in our environment, and more when I look in the mirror. I ask myself these tough questions. Am I building for a payday in 3 months, in 3 years? How short-sighted are the things that I'm talking about and developing? Because our ancestors did not think about the impact on their own lives with their own work. Their greatest exploits, especially royalty, and it's most likely that every single person in this room, if you go back ancestry far enough, whether it's hundreds of years or thousands of years, it's most likely that every single one of you, at some point in your lineage, had royalty. At some point, it was a king or a queen that you came down, and we don't really function that way anymore, but royalty acted differently. They acted with responsibility. It wasn't just about how many kingdoms they could conquer, or how much money they could acquire, or how much praise, or how many songs were written about them. Many times, they'd think about the development of a castle. Oh, maybe I'll never live in the castle. In fact, they knew their great-great-great-grandkids wouldn't live in the castle. No, the castle that was being built may not really be enjoyed for hundreds of years. I do think that would be a wonderful thing for all of us in this room, and for anybody that sees what I say at another time, to really contemplate. Are you only thinking about the next flip? Does it really matter that crypto bombs or NFTs and floors drop if you're building a castle? Does it really matter if the person you're counting on abandons you to start a competitive company, or if something just goes wrong and you lose your keys and you lose your wallet? Does it really matter if you're building a castle? In fact, all the things that bring you stress and anxiety may not actually have much room in your mentality if you are building a castle. So the question is, what is your castle? Are you a creator that is building a body of work, inspiring others to build a body of work? Are you an artist and your fruit will grow on other artists' trees because you were here first and you set the tone of what is to come? Or are you just thinking about the thing you're doing right now? Are you a collector, just thinking about jumping in a community, getting some information, find the right thing, flipping at the right moment? Or are you actually thinking about, wow, we have started the process of stopping the slave master institutions. All the centralized Web 2 out there, we are actually stopping this together. We're building a castle. I know I'm talking inspirationally, and maybe you came or you're listening because you want to know what collectively we as a leadership team are predicting about the future of NFTs in the next couple of years. So in the last 2 weeks, I've interviewed approximately 200 of our speakers and our sponsors. It was a worthy effort. It was a little ambitious, to be honest with you. I had some tired moments.
Well, Jody, say hi to everybody.
Hello, everybody. This is awesome. Where are we? In Times Square.
We are in Times Square.
I was in disguise.
What do you want to say to the community?
Well,
you can hold it if you want, and you can just talk. I'll just roll with you.
the community, 5,000 plus attendees. We're going to make it 10,000 plus attendees in June. And thank you to the community for making it such an incredible event with all of those NFTs on this canvas.
In all of my questions, and I see some of you here, and thanks for coming in and listening to me share, I asked about community. And that was pretty consistent. Everybody's like, it's all that matters, it's all that matters. It's just about the community. That's it. We're all about the Discord, and here's our vision for where we're going. And I love the people, and when I think about them, I laugh because they make me happy. And when I think about the things that we're fighting for, I cry because I get emotional. It's about the community. And I talked about technology. Well, how about tech? What about the platform? Does it matter? How do you build without talking about too much and confusing people? And we have these banters back and forth. But I really was in it for one thing. I had one question. Where are NFTs going to be in 2024? And I asked another question to try to get them to maybe give me a little more information. And if you had all the billboards in Times Square and all 5,000 of us gathered up and we gave you our undivided attention, what might you say to us? And you see, their prediction about NFTs in the next 2 or 3 years were very much tied to their declaration of encouragement for each and every one of you right now. The definition of encouragement is to take courage from yourself and to use your mouth and to put courage in someone else. That's what encouragement is. And I just heard 200 different ways of how the speakers and sponsors wanted to take courage and put it into your soul. And things that we're used to hearing. We're all going to make it. We're just at the beginning. You can accomplish anything. We're all for you. And all those things certainly are true. I think I'm going to end my last minute or two with just a little fantasy. I'm just going to take you on a ride. I just want you to think about, you wake up 3 years from now. It's the fall 2024, and how NFTs might impact our life. I don't know if you can tell, I don't prepare my talks. I haven't for 10 years. So if I seem like this is a little bit scattered, that's why. But if I prepared, believe me, it wouldn't be nearly as fun for either one of us. You wake up in the morning, you're probably not checking your wallet, you're probably not talking NFTs, but what you are doing is you're engaging with NFTs immediately. You wake up in the morning and you're talking to Siri or Alexa or Assistant, or whatever the voice device is, and you're firing off some sort of thing, and the only reason why you have access to that information is because you're part of that DAC. And so immediately you're getting a one-of-one information because you've set up exactly what you want to engage with in the morning. And as you wake up and start your day, you start creating content. And so you talk to Samsung Bixby, or you talk to Microsoft Cortana, or whatever your jam is, and you say, hey, I want to go live with a podcast. And it says, where do you want to go? Which channels? All of them. You start talking about your day, and it goes live. NFTs are created. It gets dropped to your community so you can track engagement. And you walk by your kids. I have 2 little boys, 9 and 12 years old. Walk by your kids, and you watch them. They're not playing Minecraft anymore. No, not in 2024. They're playing Sandbox, right? They're not fooling around on Fortnite. No, they're playing Neon District. And your kids are making more money than their grandparents, their great-great-grandparents, their great-great-grandparents ever could have fathomed. Why? Because when they create something, it's theirs. It belongs to them. And you walk by and you're like, oh, man, that's my kids. My kids, they create and they own it. I'm so glad I got them in this industry. And then you already have NFTs to get you rideshare. And they already know where you're at. So, let's assume privacy's all dialed. But, the car comes up and picks you up. You don't have to worry about it. You know who's taking care of you. Why? Because you are part of a community through NFT acquisition that just comes and takes care of all your needs. And you just start having your life automated, not through these slave master institutions that want total control over your life, but through decentralized autonomous organizations that are being built here right now, and through the communities that support them, decentralized autonomous communities that are here, that you're a part of right now. And through these things, you and we are creating the future, a future that allows us to be in control and to help one another. And I'll tell you this is my final thing. You, in and of yourself, by yourself, you're not going to make it. But we are all going to make it. And we are not all going to make it just because we say we are, but you are. And both those things are true. And remember to stay humble and realize that in this process, you can't be haughty and arrogant and make declarations about yourself. You want to be humble and meek. But for the community, you want to be bold and confident. You want to speak life into other people and put courage in their soul. I hope that's what I did for you right now, and I thank you for the opportunity.